This is the way it works, Laura. It's like if you have these vaccine passports, they can support the same functionality as the China social credit system. It surveils every aspect of a person and assigns a social credit score about how compliant you are. And if you combine that with the central bank digital currency, where the federal government is deciding whether or not you can spend your money, then they can just take your money away. They can sever you from your credit cards, from your bank account, and even from your bill. They can even empty your bank account if they deem that you are non-compliant. And that is a digital gulag.
So you're saying the framework for the digital passport allows government entities, in this case, an international organization, perhaps, to put anything in those little digital drawers. So in this case, it's the vaccine passport, but then other bits of information about you and your life can also go in those other drawers that are there.
Correct. So the vaccine passport or any mandatory digital ID, even a digital driver's license, a smart health card, can combine the functionality of the China social credit system.
I know people are going to say, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. This is great. But people were getting on my case in April of 2020 because the Germany was talking about the vaccine passports early in the pandemic. So I saw that, like, this is like the new normal. People were like, you were crazy. Here we are.
Well, absolutely. Things that seemed crazy 2 years ago are becoming reality, the new abnormal now, as Dr. Kheriaty would say. But it's well established that we are already being surveilled in terms of what our internet search history is, what our internet spending history is, all of these things, and they get put together easily with the vaccine passport platform. And when you do that, then you can have a social credit system that ranks you in terms of who you are, what you believe, and if you are counter narrative, then you can end up getting your credit. And we saw this in Canada with the truckers, okay? That the truckers got their credit cards cut off, their bank accounts cut off, and even those who donated to them.
People have to realize this has already happened.
That's right. It's already happened in Canada.
And if they think there's an emergency emerging, any type, climate emergency, racial emergency, pandemic, then all sorts of threats can emerge, including disinformation. I want to read another part of this declaration from the G20. And it says, we acknowledge that affordable and high-quality digital connectivity is essential for digital inclusion and digital transformation. While a resilient, safe, and secure online environment is necessary to enhance confidence and trust, we acknowledge the importance to counter disinformation campaigns. What might that include, to counter disinformation and misinformation campaigns? What does that include, do you think?
I think that disinformation would be anything that is counter narrative, whatever the current WHO requirements are. So, for example, Dr. Peter McCullough, who is the
dear friend of the program.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hero, and he is probably the most published cardiologist in the history of the world, came out with early treatment protocols, and also has been saying that there's myocarditis and many problems.
Which there is, all true.
You know, with the vaccines, that has been categorized as disinformation, and now he is having his medical license possibly revoked. He's under disciplinary action. That's what they mean by controlling disinformation. I think that the combination of the vaccine passport and the central bank digital currency could be the worst abrogation of human rights that we've seen.
Trust us, said government. We truly have your best interests at heart. All we want to do is help keep you safe. And we're headed toward a one world global government with one massive, monstrous leader. This is the kingdom that Satan is pulling together as the final attempt to dethrone God. It describes this kingdom as having powers like a leopard, a bear, and a lion. And what we find here is this monster is none other than the final Antichrist. Even now, John says there are many Antichrists. This is the final one. He rises up out of the sea, out of the nations. He consolidates all world power. This is globalism, symbolized by 10 horns, a number of completion as his 7 heads. He has the consolidated power and the consolidated authority. He is a blasphemer, but a powerful one. And the dragon is Satan. And the dragon gave the Antichrist in John's vision his power, his throne, and his great authority. William Pitt, well-known name in English history, said this: necessity, i.e. public health, common good, is the plea of every infringement of human freedom. It is the argument of tyrants. Get people afraid and they'll do whatever you want. A fearful society will always comply. Panicking people will believe anything. But we're headed toward a time when there's a global satanic kingdom. It consolidates all kingdoms of the world. It is under the final monster Antichrist, designed by the devil himself, and the entire world follows.